Welcome, everyone. I'm Chris Gore. This is the Film Threat Livecast. Today on the show, Superman, our spoiler reaction. Yes, we will talk spoilers. We'll put up a warning before the spoilers come up, but we will discuss them. Plus, your comments, questions, and 3 other movies opened in theaters this weekend, and I saw them all, and I'll tell you about them. So you have might consider seeing a movie other than a superhero movie. Plus, tons of news. A new Red Sonja trailer dropped. So let's go. Let's talk about it. Come on. Let's do this. And in typical Alan fashion, he's not. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is A.I. Allen. And unless I have a malfunction, I will search for Allen. Allen? Allen. Allen.
That's an old photo there.
You look like a robot from Superman 4 or something. That looks really bad.
Oh.
That looks really bad, man. I don't know what happened. You know what? StreamYard is so screwed up. Does the music even play?
No, I don't think you hit the button right.
Oh,
all the
okay.
way.
Yeah.
No, I have to hit buttons twice on StreamYard. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. StreamYard, they give us a warning. Hey, we know we're screwed up. So I apologize for any technical errors we have today.
Yeah. By the way, great appearance on Piers Morgan yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, I was on Piers Morgan yesterday. The video is on YouTube. Look for it. Piers Morgan Superman. I was on with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
No, Geeks and Games.
Geeks and Games. And of course, Gary from Nerdrotic. And we all chatted about Superman. And Dean Cain, Superman himself, joined us. It was great. So
And boy, fans of Florence Pugh will not like you. Do not like you.
why? What did I say?
You said something about her body and how plain it was, and
Well, I didn't get to finish my point.
I know, but that's how it came
My
up.
point was Florence Pugh looks awful in Thunderbolts. She's on the red carpet dressed sexy as hell.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? You see these women are desexualized in movies, and then you see them on the red carpet and they're hypersexualized.
I know.
And that is of their own choosing, to be clear.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't she wear the costume from Oppenheimer? You remember that one?
What was the costume from Oppenheimer?
There wasn't one.
Yeah, pretty much for a lot of it. Oh my God. I got to clean up my background here. This room, I have more DVDs and comics.
Oh my gosh.
Please never send me anything. I have too much stuff. I don't want things. But let's see who's here and get things going. Here, let's go.
Let's do this. Bill S. Preston Esquire. Happy Friday, all. I like Superman. Good, but not great. A bit political, but the movie was not woke.
Nice to hear.
Bada bing, bada bang for €2. You never reviewed Deep Cover from Amazon.
And we never will. I don't even know what Deep Cover is. Sorry, bada bing.
We reviewed Heads of State last week.
Yeah, like occasionally the bigger movies on the streaming platforms we will review. We talked about Squid Game Season 3. We talked about G20, Heads of State. When there's a big film on either Netflix, Amazon, whatever, we will discuss it.
Yeah. And there's nothing bigger on Amazon than John Cena. So
yeah, what was the other John Cena movie?
Oh, it was The Lottery or something like that.
That was so bad.
Brock Samsonite. Good morning, beautiful people. Hope you all saw the new Superman and have your opinions ready to share.
Let's do this.
Yeah. MK Solid Chris was spot on with his point, but it was just funny how he called her out. Yeah.
Well, my point was, thank you, MK Solid, for the backup. She looks dumpy in the Marvel movies. In real life, she is a beautiful sexy woman and chooses to express that on the red carpet. But in the movies, Disney/Marvel tends to dress her up in a costume where you can't,
Well,
she can't.
they do it to everyone. I mean, look at Sue Storm in Fantastic Four. It's
Yeah,
it's
even
that
her.
turtleneck uniform.
Right.
Christopher Moonlight Productions dipping in and out today. Meetings, but I left you all a free film school over on Film Threat. Want to be a great filmmaker? Just go check it out because you can do better than Gun. Yes.
That's right. Christopher Moonlight has done a series of stories on indie filmmaking focused on AI and special effects. If you're an indie filmmaker, read his stories. Really informative. And Andrew Cram swooping in.
For 20. Hello, Chris and Alan. Thank you for being authentic and down to earth with your takes on current film entertainment.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that you appreciate us. And thank
Lord
you.
Thoth,
very generous.
the great Lord Thoth admonishes you all and commands you to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, or Rumble and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthread.com.
And I'll put up I'm putting up shop.filmthread.com. Everything on StreamYard is screwed up, but check out the shop. Very soon, we are opening our Spirit of Halloween store because everyone is doing Universal Halloween Horror Nights just sold out of their passes. If you want to be it's the pass where you get to go to Halloween Horror Nights anytime. Frequent year pass or whatever, they're all gone. They went on sale before August. Like October is becoming Halloween is becoming a season. It's not a day. It's not October. It's a season. They even
an entire quarter on the calendar.
I saw so many parties. They call it halfway to Halloween, where they have like a Halloween event that's like 6 months before Halloween. Anyways, go to shop.filmthread.com and thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Lord Thoth. Hey, couple more swooping in here.
Yes, from Aryan for 40. Watch Superman. It's bad. Had too many jokes for me.
Well, I think we'll get into it, but
I think
any serious moment was deflated by a joke. Every single one. And thank you, Andrew Cram, for gifting one Film Threat membership. So I cannot wait for our Spirit of Halloween store. Spirit of Halloween. And we'll take we actually have other Halloween shirts. So now we'll do Halloween merch. I think we need to do pet merch too. So one last one before we get into it. Yeah.
Sons and Shadows member for 23 months. Alice in Borderland season 3 trailer came out. Who's excited? Who's going to watch? Looks awesome. Going to Mad Monster Party tomorrow in Arizona.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like, and that's cool. People love Halloween. It's the most popular holiday. I have a theory about why it's popular. Do you know why?
Why?
Halloween does not involve relatives. There's no relatives. No stressful Thanksgiving dinner. No, what present am I going to get, on Christmas? No. You wear costumes and you drink Halloween-themed drinks, eat Halloween-themed cookies, and you party. Halloween is about partying. And all the other holidays are about family or some have some religious element. I think people just want to have fun. So a couple more here and we'll get to it.
CD Stein 69.
Wait. We're going to get to save all the Superman comments. We'll save them. Sorry, Alan, to cut you off. What?
I'm used to it.
No, I'm not. I just realized it was a Superman comment.
I know. I get it.
We're just going to, we'll just, yeah. So, okay, let's talk about, we have a bunch of news stories and then we'll get to our spoiler review of Superman. Red Sonja. There is a panel at San Diego Comic-Con about Red Sonja, and the trailer just dropped. Are you ready, Alan?
Yes. Do we know the gender and race of Red Sonja?
Redhead. I don't know if that's but woman and a redhead.
Okay.
They already they got me interested.
All
Let's watch this trailer. Here we go.
Sonja, the earth is bleeding.
And grant me the power to find those who did this.
Why are you here?
To see my people again is all I dreamed of.
I like this one. Very, very feisty, eh?
He wants us to fight, or we both die.
Someone has to make a stand. Nothing but death awaits us. I will do what damage I can.
You know what, Red? You are quite the woman.
You think that your gods can stop me from conquering the world beyond?
It won't just be the Acadians who suffer. It will be every tribe, every people who defy him. I am here to fight!
You and all of your kind are relics from the past. I am the future.
It's now or never.
Do you choose death?
Never.
You can have this and these.
And that protects.
Nothing. The crowd will love it.
I don't know. I like it. I like it. I'll tell you, it does look like cheap action, nonstop, cheesy, knows what it is. Red Sonja actually has red hair. We'll see if the carpet matches the curtains, but I'll just say it looks kind of cheesy, like Uwe Boll directed it. I don't even know who directed it, but it just has that feeling. So what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, that's not the Red Sonja I remember. I think there were two things. I remember in the comic books she had, larger cups. But but I guess it's okay. I mean, you can't ask for everything, I suppose.
Well, are you saying, I love breasts. Women look at other women's breasts. Gay men love breasts. One thing that could unite the world is breasts and cleavage. I really believe that. I truly believe in breasts. I know you support a lot of political causes, and that's one we can all get behind. There you go.
And get in front of. Wrap arms
definitely
around it.
In front of.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? No one's talking about Ironheart.
Oh no.
Except for us. All right. This may be the last Ironheart story.
I feel like it's not, but
it's no acolyte. This isn't going to drag on for weeks or months. I think everyone has moved on and forgotten it. We're looking forward to Fantastic Four. But Robert Downey Jr. from the set of Doomsday did another video with, and you know what? The actress herself, Dominique Thorne, I actually like her. She's fine. She said nothing crazy. She seems to be very excited to just have this opportunity. But I feel bad she's in this position. Look, it's just a badly written show. That's all it is. So what do you have any other thoughts on that, on Ironheart? I'll bring up this video.
yeah, I mean, look, compared to Acolyte crossed a line. And it not only crossed that line, it stepped far over that line, and that was fun and the joy of Acolyte. Ironheart is just bad. It is just badly written, badly conceived, based on a comic book very few people ever read, and I think that's why we don't really talk about it. There was a lot of fun in just episode 3 of the Acolyte. And many videos have been made on that, and there's just not that moment in Ironheart. It's just bad.
It's unfortunate because the character is so poorly written, and she really, at the end of the day, does not represent the values of a hero. She has the values of a villain, and it's hard to get behind that. And also just being kind of selfish as a character. So it just doesn't help it. Now, I'm told that's even accurate to the comics. Let's look at this video of RDJ talking to the star of Ironheart.
Dominic Thorne, I have seen all of the first 3 episodes of Ironheart. I love it. We have so much to discuss. I think this may be the premier character in the MCU that's from Chicago. And I go, oh my God, how is it taking this long?
There's a nucleus there for her. It's her community, her home. It's Chicago.
In episode 2, I call it the Shaka Khan tunnel heist freehand sequence, which is just great. By the way, the soundtrack and the music.
Chicago, come alive.
It's Chicago, but I also feel Nate Moore. I also feel Ryan. I feel the Black Panther energy in this.
That was probably also one of the most fun scenes to shoot for the top half, because it is so high intensity and quick and fast. This is like the first time Riri gets to just like flex what she's good at.
I couldn't believe that after episode 2, that episode 3 actually gets more jazzy and out of control and hectic. And really, you're doing kind of almost a little bit of like cat burglar spy work. Were you claustrophobic in that shaft that you were in when everything starts closing?
Oh my God, that was insane.
You're underwater, you're in tunnels, you're hiding, you're sneaking, you're trying to get information.
I think episode 3 might be my favorite episode.
Oh
did you see RDJ look down at his notes?
Yeah.
He looked down at his notes.
Oh, I hate Marvel interviews. This is
they're you know what? And I'll say, I want to give a compliment. Robert Downey Jr. is an Oscar-winning actor. And that was great acting there. I don't blame him. I think he's a team player. He wants to support Marvel. I think it's fine that he does this. I don't think it's authentic. I think he had notes in front of him. Who knows if he really actually watched it? Although I'm told he's in quite a bit of makeup as Victor Von Doom. So I'm sure he has time in the chair to sit there and have it playing on an iPad while he's getting makeup applied. I
want to know how they wrote this into his Dr. Doom contract. Look, you're going to play Dr. Doom. You're back. But one thing, you're gonna have to help us promote Ironheart.
Look, I don't know if it's contractual, but I think he's a team player, and he's like, "Would you do this? Why would he not do that?" I think he's a good guy. He went through a personal transformation, getting to the character of Tony Stark.
But it's like she goes on Good Morning America. She goes on all these things, and oh, hey, guess what? Someone just called in. Oh, it's Robert Downey Jr. It's to me, it's this fake PR tour that they do. They try to pass it off as authentic. And it just makes me more angry and upset the more it happens. This is not an interview. It's just him gushing over Riri there.
It's a piece of marketing, but the thing is, I don't hold it against Robert Downey Jr. Like I said, team player, that's good on him. It's just, I think, the character deserved better. Mm-hmm. And it's probably the worst thing Marvel has produced on Disney Plus, and that's saying a lot because Echo exists.
Yeah, I mean, character. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Just we have so much to get to.
I know, but you keep playing these videos and clips that just piss me off. And
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Just
Hey, we've got a lot of Superman related stories. Let's talk about music and the creative process in Superman. A quick clip here from X in which Gunn talks about the music. Now, I'd love to play it for you, but I can't. There is a Spotify. Spotify has the soundtrack for Superman. Spotify also has the music from Superman. And then James Gunn created playlists for all the characters, including Jimmy Olsen, Miss Tessmacher, Superman, Clark, Lois, Lex Luthor. They all have their own playlists that reflect the character. And then he gives a little 30-second or 1-minute intro explaining the philosophy behind the playlist and the character. And that's about as deep as it goes, because
but surely you could just play the his words and not the music, right?
I can't. We got hit just for playing James Gunn talking from Spotify. But here's a clip from X talking about the music.
Music plays a creative role in my creative process simply because, you know, I have a lot of music in my movies. I do something that's unusual for directors, which is oftentimes the film composers write the music before we shoot, and we actually play the music on set as we're shooting, so that everybody is working in conjunction with the music to create a scene. Of course, if I use songs in a movie, I play those on set as well. I really listened to the John Williams original score a lot of times while I was listening to Superman. I also listened to a bunch of different versions of the score, metal versions and, you know, more classical type versions, to try to get into the feel of how we were going to use the Williams score. I knew I wanted to use Williams score in Superman. I knew we were going to, you know, deconstruct and reconstruct it in different ways, and I didn't know exactly how we were going to go about that. In terms of soundtracks, I really loved, you know, I think Tarantino has been a big influence in how he used soundtracks in movies like Pulp Fiction. I loved Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused soundtrack is one of my favorites of all time. I think that he was a master, and I think that the John Williams score for Superman is one of the greatest scores of all time.
So that's a promo for Spotify. I listened to the whole thing. I think that it's all just poppy. It's all pop punk. So it's almost like there's a sameness to the playlist, you know, there. Although one, you know, I don't know. It's fine. If you have Spotify already, it's I would recommend checking it out. But I don't see how it really reflected the characters, you know, especially Lex. I was really disappointed with his playlist. It's like, yes, he's evil, so he's going to play evil songs, like about doing evil. I don't know. It was very surface level.
What was the tone of Lex's playlist?
It was like, I'm evil.
Oh,
that's it.
Oh.
I'm saying it's just very like, I saw the movie again last night, and I'll have thoughts to express when we do our spoiler review. But I gotta say, the characters are very one-dimensional, all of them. That's my takeaway.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, there's a lot of characters. I just want to say, I mean, do you want to talk about the John Williams part of it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so here's the thing. John Williams, if you watch the John Williams documentary on Disney Plus, probably the only reason to get Disney Plus, John Williams is orchestral. That's his music is not electronic. It's not synthesized. He goes into the studio, gets a giant orchestra, and builds a soundtrack. That's Superman 1. You know, that's everything he's done. In Superman, this one, it just felt like it was all done on a computer in a studio.
Yes,
and
that's what I don't like.
Yeah, and it felt like he was just cutting out pieces of the John Williams original soundtrack, synthesized it, and then fit it into whatever scene. There's one point where it just felt like he was just repeating the same tagline of a John Williams piece. I forget what it was for. I think it was for Lois and Clark. But it would just repeat on repeat, and it just I don't know who curated or who put together this music, but I just felt like in a way it just did a disservice to John Williams.
So many Superman stories to get to. Let's take a look at this one. David Corenswet takes a lie detector test. Can you believe it?
Because we have to.
Yes. Well, we've queued it up, and let's watch a little bit of this. The one selling point that has been a positive for this movie has been the cast and their TikToks and social posts, and in particular, David Corenswet. He's just really likable. Let's watch this quickly.
Sorry.
I'm making Stephanie nervous now.
You are.
Now the tables have turned.
We're going to turn them back real quick, though.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions to calibrate the machine. Is your full name David Packard Corenswet?
Yes.
Are you from Philadelphia?
Yes.
Are you about to take a polygraph test?
As far as I know.
Are you... Just yes and no, please. Don't be smart.
Yes.
Thank you. Are you nervous?
No. It's a calibration.
Is he not nervous?
It's just for...
It doesn't appear that he is, actually.
Look at you. The internet claims you're 6'4". Have you ever lied about your height to make yourself seem taller than you are?
No, I don't think so.
That is a lie.
What I remember is lying to make myself seem shorter. I did say that I but I'm suspicious because we're definitely at least the same height.
I know, and I say I'm 6'2", and when I go to the doctors...
6'2"?
Yeah, and when I go to the doctors, they measure me with the proper thing. I'm like 189 and a bit centimeters, which is maybe almost 6'3", but you say you're 6'4".
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think, especially as a gentleman, do you think it's appropriate to round up if you're 6'3.5" or more to 6'4"? Or are you required to round down to never seem like you're trying to overinflate your height?
I would round down.
Just always?
Well, because then it's like if someone turns up and they're like, closer to 6'4". What a nice surprise.
Right. But then also you wear lifts in your shoes, so should have asked you about that.
I don't wear lifts in my shoes. I wear regular shoes.
Large lifts.
If no, would you like to apologize for lying?
Sure.
Yeah. You've recently claimed that every time you watch an Eagles game, they lose. So you didn't watch the Super Bowl this year.
No, I didn't. Yes, it was No, I watched the Super Bowl. Yes. Did that work?
You were telling the truth.
Yeah, I watched the Super Bowl. It was an amazing game to watch. Considering it was such a blowout. Usually I don't like a blowout, but don't put that in.
Keep that in. Run that in the credit bit.
By the way, they didn't play a Superman trailer during the Super Bowl. So kind of funny. Anyways, we'll watch a little bit more of this.
He loves a blowout. Is that a lie? Does he like a blowout?
It appears he does like a blowout.
He loves a blowout. You recently became a dad. Speaking of dads, this man once dressed up as Batman for his son's birthday party. Would you ever dress up as Superman for your daughter's birthday?
No.
The machine was detecting some deception there also.
Yeah. Didn't you just wear your pants on the outside of your trousers that day? Would you dress up as Superman for my son's birthday parties?
Anytime.
That is the truth.
Great. That's going to be very useful for me. Thank you very much. You're on the record being a huge Star Wars fan. Is it true that you can recite entire scenes from memory?
No.
Looks like you're being truthful.
I say that
You're pretty
because
close, though.
At periods in my life, I have been able to, and if I've just rewatched the films, I can.
Yeah.
At the moment, I don't think I would be able to. I'm due for a rewatch. It's like your dentist, your 6-month checkup.
How often do you rewatch? Every 6 months?
On New Year's Eve, it's now the tradition, starting the 3 movies, ending with the second Death Star exploding at midnight.
Okay.
There's food involved as well. It's a wonderful tradition that we've just started. And then I figure out every 6 months because I'm already I saw them on the plane and I was like, I'm not going to watch them on the plane, but after the movie comes out, I'll watch them.
Okay, good. So I won't make you recite them right now, but we will in the future. If you had the choice between playing Superman again in the sequels or starring as a Jedi Knight in Star Wars, which one would you choose?
Superman.
Oh.
You don't want to be in current Star Wars.
Jedi Knight in Star Wars.
Truthful.
I think that's.
Oh my God! All
I
right.
don't think
Well,
you-
this we'll put the link. We'll put the link to this in the description for this video. But I don't know. What's funny is some of the PR, in fact, all the PR surrounding David Corenswet has been awesome. He's very genuine. I think sort of universally, even people that don't like the movie say he is a good Superman. So this is great.
Can you imagine if James Gunn had not done any promotion for Superman? How much more excited we would have been.
It would have been. It would have been great. It would have been great. Hey, there's a big news story here that we need to get to. Saving a studio. This looks like a job for Superman. I'm going to bring this story up. Alan, I know you have the notes.
Yes.
This story involves the new DC studios and what they went through. This is from I believe the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal, saving a studio. This looks like a job for Superman. The Man of Steel is back in a new $225 million reboot. It's the last best hope for DC Comics to match the success of the Marvel Industrial Complex. Wow, I like it being referred to that way. We have a graphic of Superman holding up the WB logo along with Crypto. Alan, tell us what's in this story.
Sure. Well, Warner Brothers Superman reboot isn't just another superhero movie. It's the studio's all or nothing gambit to rescue the DC brand after years of false starts, internal feuds, and underwhelming films. Led by a new DC Studios head, Peter Safran and James Gunn, the film debuted not just a new Clark, but an entirely reimagined cinematic universe meant to unify DC's sprawling, inconsistent properties. With a $225 million price tag and a goal gross of $500 million globally, Superman is expected to launch a slate of interconnected films and series. Beyond the flagship heroes, Gunn and Safran are exploring lesser-known characters to broaden the tone and style of the DCU. They rebooted Superman, introducing supporting heroes like Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific, the latter of whom could receive his own TV spinoff, along with Cub reporter Jimmy Olsen. Gunn has also teased a genre-bending approach to storytelling. There's a horror-themed Clayface movie in development, and an animated family film titled The Dynamic Duo, centering on different iterations of Robin. The plan is to release 2 live-action films, 1 animated movie each year, supported by original shows premiering on HBO Max. As Safran explains, superhero stories don't all need to be action adventures. We need to mix tone, genres, and audiences to reflect what these characters can truly be. But the road to this relaunch isn't without alternate paths and abandoned possibilities. One of the most notable detours was a script by celebrated author Ta-Nehisi Coates that reimagined Superman as a black hero set against the backdrop of the civil rights era.
So the Black Superman project, is that on ice?
That is, according to this, it's on ice. It's abandoned.
Nice.
The project had been in early development and signaled a bolder, more inclusive direction for the character. However, CEO David Zaslav reportedly deemed it too woke and pivoted instead toward Gunn's more traditional, broadly appealing take. While sources say that the version of Superman will still be revived someday, for now, Warner's entire strategy rests on a vision that's colorful, clean-cut, and rooted in classic Americana ideals. Still, the shadow of the abandoned Black Superman looms, emblematic of the risks and resistance involved in evolving a character who has long symbolized the status quo. Yeah, Wall Street Journal wants Black Superman.
Well, I think that most of the mainstream media clearly has agendas, right? Most of it. And you see that come out in Variety. They've got that one reporter that baits everybody on the red carpet with divisive political questions.
MAGA hates your movie. What do you think about that?
MAGA hates your, is this the gayest? What insert movie or TV show? It's so I don't take that too seriously, but I think they're making the right choice. Put that project on ice.
Mhm.
There are other Black characters that exist that you could bring into the universe. We just saw one. Mr. Terrific is a standout.
Mhm.
It-
And they even talked about a spin-off in this article for him.
Yeah, I mean, universally, I think everyone really liked the Mr. Terrific. He's a
Yeah, I
fun
think,
character,
you guys-
and he already exists.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned he was the only manly man in the movie.
He was. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Oddly.
this is the thing I always say. I joke about this all the time, and I'm serious when I say, if you're gonna make Black Superman, why not make Asian Superman? If you're gonna make Black Wonder Woman, why not Asian Wonder Woman? This is dumb.
Well, you could make a Superman and you put on a pair of VR glasses and you pick the race and gender or ethnicity, whatever, of the Superman. We have Latino Superman,
Mhm.
Latino transgender Superman. Like, you just pick and then you watch the Superman you want to watch. How about that? That's
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, a stupid idea. But I've always said that those things, you lean into identity politics and it just everything becomes stupid.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's the pigmentation of your skin versus the values that character holds deep within.
And
That's what
the
we're trying to
values
do.
are the character, define the character.
Absolutely. And that has nothing to do with your skin color. Has maybe a little bit to do with the culture you were raised in, but it's always about those values and whether those values are something that we can all agree with and hold on to. Generally, the positive ones I'm referring to.
We're going to go to your comments before we get into our Superman spoiler review. But I have to talk about something. Superman has been praised for its amazing casting. And to everyone's shock, we got a white Jimmy Olsen. And he has freckles and sort of he's kind of the character right out of the comics. But I have a complaint.
A freaking IKEA chair.
Let's talk about the Superman race swap that
Oh,
no
no.
one is discussing.
Oh, no.
Alan, we talked about it before the show, and I'm upset. And I'll tell you why. And you're not, it's not what you think. Let's talk about one of the most beloved characters from the Superman films. And that is the character of the beloved Otis, played by Ned Beatty. Ned Beatty was a source of comic relief from the 1978 Superman. He was in the trio of, you got Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman, you've got Miss Tessmacher, played by Valerie Perrine, and Ned Beatty played Otis. Kind of beloved, sort of a goofy, I don't know, corn poke. I loved Otis. So many great lines. Remember when he tried to
Slip in.
slip in Otisburg?
Yeah.
Otisburg? It's a little town. I love Otis. And, James Gunn has brought in Miss Tessmacher in a role that's actually pivotal. And blink or you'll miss it, Otis is in the movie. But guess what Otis looks like? You'll never guess, Alan.
Well, I mean, I saw the movie. I know what he looks like.
Well, let me show you Otis from James Gunn's Superman. It's this guy.
It's Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce plays Otis in James Gunn's Superman. And I have a huge problem with this. And you know what? It's not because he's black. It's because he's not funny. If you're going to cast Otis, you need to embody the character of Otis. I mean, Miss Tessmacher, she's a different take on that character. Fine. Otis is involved in the Lex group where they're calling out basically battleship numbers or vitamins. 12B, 13F. with the Superman Ultraman moves, that was lame. After a while, it's kind of lame. But Otis is in the movie, and he's not funny. If you're gonna race swap, fine, race swap an inconsequential character, but they need to embody the values, the core of the character. Alan, I know you care as passionately as I do. What do you think of this?
Okay, so first, Chad is getting on me. Yeah, that's not Wendell Pierce. That's Terrence Rosemore. But you're right. The only reason I noticed only reason anyone would notice this is because Lex refers to him as Otis. Other than that character does nothing that Otis would have done. They're two completely different people. And for some reason, he just felt like, well, that's our Otis, and not only did you not make him funny, you just made him bland. He follows the orders of Lex, and he's black. That's not that. If you're gonna race swap a character, at least get the spirit of the character. Otherwise, there's just no reason for it, and it's just gonna piss Chris off, and it's just gonna make him do another rant. And so complete failure on James Gunn's part here. Race swapping at its worst.
But good on WB and DC for canceling the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Superman project, but they couldn't get Otis right. And that it would have been so easy. And it's not like they were toning down the comic relief in the movie. There's a lot of it. Sometimes it gets a little tiresome.
It just felt like an afterthought. There was no effort put into the character of Otis at all.
Exactly. Make Otis funny again.
A freaking IKEA chair.
Or give him a different name. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Maybe that'll make a good clip. I'm not sure. Hey, let's talk about this real quick and we'll get to our spoiler review. Superman films on Film Threat. Alan, you've been doing a series of articles reviewing every Superman movie on the homepage of Film Threat right now. We have, is James Gunn's Superman the hero the genre needed, or its last gasp?
Yeah, and that's actually reviews from I did this review,
right?
And then our other writers chimed in with their
all the other writers from Film Threat gave their own thoughts, and they gave their own number ratings. We also have your James Gunn Superman review right here. You rated, what was your final rating?
It was 7. It was 7.
Yeah, and then there were other Superman movies that you talked about. I don't even know what this is.
So this is a Turkish Superman. In the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, Turkey decided that they wanted to make popular versions, or make Turkish versions of popular American movies. And this is Superman. Not only in Superman Donaver, what they did was they just made a Superman movie, put a guy in a Superman suit. This is very reminiscent of Adventures of Superman versus what they were trying to parody, which was the Richard Donner Superman. They even bootlegged the John Williams score for this movie.
Oh my God. I've seen this before. It's bad.
Yeah, it is awful.
It's bad. It is terrible.
But my point is that just the fact that they had the guts and the balls to go into copyright infringement and lean heavily into it, it wins on my account.
Wow, you really went deep with the Superman. This is Superman and the Mole Men.
Yeah, Superman and the Mole Men is the pilot episode of the Adventures of Superman television series.
And then you did Quest for Peace. This is crazy.
This is an awful movie.
Yeah, I know. And I love Chris Reeve.
This one, they wanted to get Chris Reeve to come back for a fourth one. And so Warner Brothers promised him a television series. if he would come back. And then they promised him the ability to influence the script. So the idea that Superman is going to go out and destroy all of Earth's nuclear weapons and throw it into the sun, that was a Christopher Reeves story idea. But this is about Superman versus Nuclear Man. And the upside is it does have Gene Hackman in it. The downside is John Cryer plays his son.
There are great deleted scenes from Quest for Peace on YouTube. They're just terrible. But you've got like, look at this, the Super Slash Man, Selling Superman, Death of Superman Lives, What Happens.
Yeah, Death of Superman Lives. I mean, I know you're familiar with it.
Well, my friend John Schnepp made this movie. It's amazing.
Yeah, what's interesting is I'm watching this, and they talk about Superman being very emotional in Death of Superman, or I'm sorry, in Superman Lives. And that he dies, and then they create a healing suit for him. And Nick Cage obviously is the star of this, and it got pretty far. It basically got 2 months before production, so all the pre-production work had been done. And Warner Brothers decided that it was just too costly of a risk. So he took all the money that they would have put into Superman Lives and put it into this great movie we all know as Wild Wild West.
Oh, God.
So instead of getting Superman Lives, we got Wild Wild West instead. And I'll say this, after watching the documentary, I don't know. I think I personally would have been intrigued to watch this movie. I would have seen it, but I don't know that it would have made a lot of money at the box office.
Well, if you look up Superman, there are pages and pages of reviews of older films and weird ephemera. I would describe it as ephemera, especially that Turkish Superman.
Yeah.
So check that out on Film Threat.
Yeah. Can you imagine that a world where there was no Wild Wild West, but Superman Lives exists?
I would love to have seen a Tim Burton Superman.
Mhm.
I knew it'd be weird. In the documentary, we saw Tim Burton like talk to Nick Cage, and he wanted to make Clark Kent like a really sort of weird nerd that he would react to a joke that he heard a comedian say, like, blocks away, he could hear it, or miles away, and you'd see him laughing for no reason.
Yeah.
So he really went like deep on the character. I mean, Nick Cage is famously a huge Superman fan. He named his son Kal-El. He has Action Comics #1. He has a big comic collection. So then of course,
I think wasn't Lois pregnant in this version?
I don't remember, but I have the doc on Blu-ray, and I should give it a rewatch.
Yeah, but it's fascinating. I do like the fact that Kevin Smith wrote the first script, and everyone agreed that it was an awful script, and they fired him once Tim Burton got him. Kevin Smith suggested Tim Burton. They hired him, and then Tim Burton fired him because the script was bad.
As he should. Hey, let's do some comments and we'll get to our spoiler review. And thank you for your patience here. Let's I'm going to do non-Superman comments.
Press M to start for 2. Neon is having a panel on Friday at San Diego Comic-Con.
That is great. If the timing is right, I'm going to go to that. Thank you.
Jordan Alvarado for $4.99. Do you have to be based in California to work for Film Threat? Gore fan since DV Tuesday. Alan doesn't like anything. Just kidding. Cheers.
What do you mean Alan doesn't like?
Yeah, we hate everything. Yes, I hate everything.
There's a t-shirt that says that. I noticed you got a flood of emails, and if I know anything about Alan, we've been friends for years, he will not answer the emails.
Yep.
But you can try your best. Go to Film Thread, click on contact. The email goes to both Alan and I. Alan has lord over the website. I on occasion nudge Alan, but Alan, he's great stuff lately, Alan.
Yep.
The Superman coverage, amazing. Great idea to get the synopses.
Today is Black Superman.
Black Superman, when does that go up?
That goes up this afternoon.
That's cool.
Abar, the first Black Superman.
But most of our writers are actually not in California. They're
Mm-hmm.
all over the world, in fact. Canada, the UK, they're all over.
Mhm.
So you can try to get Alan's attention and write for Film Threat. There is like a test. Alan does send out a test, and I direct all questions to Alan on that. You have anything to say, Alan?
You said it all. I think of our active writers, there's maybe three to five that are in LA, and the rest are all over the world, literally.
Number about 30. It's just sort of rotating writers.
Yeah.
But
In terms
yeah,
of being active, yeah.
hit up Alan. Hit up Alan.
Yeah. Yeah, go to filmthread.com/contact.
Go through the comments here, Alan.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. Press M to start for 2. Have you guys seen K-pop Demon Hunter yet? It's on my watch list.
Yeah, I added it to my watch list. I want to see it.
Yeah. Nick XH, member for 16 months.
Thank you for that.
Harry Brownhall. For 2 Canadian, never go full Shiltard RDJ.
Yes.
Jim T. Why not allow John Williams to write an original score?
He's 90. And I got my tickets for Maestro of the movies for the Hollywood Bowl. It's John Williams.
Will he be there?
He makes an appearance. He does not conduct, but he shows up. And
Yeah.
I think he's too old. I think
Well, I can
Rise
also
is-
speak to this. If
Yeah.
you watch the doc on John Williams, he doesn't like to repeat himself. He doesn't like doing sequels. The only sequels he did was, I mean, obviously the Star Wars Indiana Jones, but when it came to Harry Potter, after the 3rd one, he said he's done. He just didn't want to do any more Harry Potters. Freaking IKEA chair gifted 10 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. My Ninja 679 for 2. Love you guys. And I love all the Supermans.
Thanks.
Andrew Cram gifted 20 Film Thread memberships.
Thank you, Andrew. That's great.
Aryan for 40 with what's SPM?
Superman.
What? Okay.
With Superman and F4 superhero movies future is finished. Thanks, Arian.
I don't think Superman killed superhero movies. We'll get to it. Doug, member for 17 months. Thanks for all the great content.
We'll keep it coming. All right. We've gotten through. I'm saving all the Superman comments, but Alan, it's time.
Yes.
To put the poster up. So I know someone's working on that right now.
Yeah, there it is.
Let's give our spoiler review of Superman. I have some very specific things about this film. I want to discuss spoiler things. So please dip out if you want to be spoiler free. And if you've seen the movie, this is the time to discuss spoilers. We're doing it now, and we'll do it again on Versus on Monday. I saw the film for a second time at a special screening, I think sponsored by Wishbone at the Rooftop Cinema in downtown LA. Went there with my dog. I guess it's my dog now. And we watched Superman a second time, and a lot of things stood out to me. And I'll say this. I didn't change my opinion. This is a movie for kids and families. But there are a lot of things in this movie. There are so many nitpicks. It's like a comic book fan's dream. This will spawn conversations for months in comic book stores across the country about, I hated this, but I like that. This was cool, but this was god awful. And
so I have to
ask right. But there
I
is
have to ask you.
Yes.
I have to ask you. Second viewing, did the movie get better or did it get worse?
The things that bothered me less. The things that I enjoyed, I'm a glass half full guy. I'm an optimist. I like the spirit of Superman, looking for good, trying to do good. That's what I aspire to. So there wasn't any pressure when I first saw Superman, I actually James Gunn Superman, I felt nervous in a way that was I can only describe as like when I saw Force Awakens and did not like Force Awakens. I mean, I despise that movie and J.J. Abrams, but I saw Superman's James Gunn Superman a second time, and it was fine. It was fine. And in fact, some things like the music, and I saw what James was trying to do. This is really, and I think of myself as a young boy seeing Superman in the theater for the first time. This, I think, is really for a different generation. What I'm saying is I'm old, and I actually like Man of Steel better. Okay. I like a more adult storytelling. I didn't like all the things that Zack Snyder did, but there is something really big in Superman that stood out that bothered me the first time, and it bothered me more upon second viewing. That's Superman's parents, Jor-El and Lara. Of course, we hear the message that you see the first part of the message. They talk about doing good, how much they love him. And then when the engineer repairs the machine,
the
and
bad guy.
Yeah, what the bad guy repair, and we get the full message, which is then translated. We learn that they're basically evil, sending Superman to conquer Earth, that humans are stupid, unevolved simpletons, and he should go and have a harem of and spread his seed, the Kryptonian seed, and conquer and rule over Earth. Now, I'd assumed when I first saw it that, like, well, in the end, of course, Lex lied. He paid off those experts, and that's not what they said. No, the movie ends with that's what he said. And this is the huge change. This is the worst part about this movie. I'll tell you exactly what. And now I see why he did it, right? It's like, my parents are evil. I'm rejecting my birth parents, and I'm accepting my adoptive parents. And we see a montage. The very end of the movie is Superman. The Superman robots play this video because it calms him to see the video of his family, hear their message to him. Then at the end of the movie, he's sitting down. The robots repeat what they said in the beginning. Here, let's play some video from your parents. But it's his adoptive parents with a montage of like home videos of Clark as a young boy, and his parents just being playful and being like good parents to him. His the Kents, the sort of Kansas Tucky parents in the mobile home. Clark. And he's watching the videos of his adoptive parents rather than his birth parents. And what that does? It's not like when Luke Skywalker learned that Darth Vader was his father. What did he do? His mission was, I can feel the good in him. I can turn him. Well, Superman does not have that opportunity. What this turns Superman into is Rey. Rey from Star Wars, in one of the most terrible ideas. Rey's lineage, Rey's grandfather is Palpatine, the Emperor. She is Rey Palpatine. Good. And his evil parents, Jor-El and Lara, are evil, but Superman is good. I hate this. I've always loved the way they handle Jor-El in the 78 Superman. I think Krypton in Zack Snyder's Superman looks amazing. Even the penis rockets with General Zod, where they go up to be outcast, They're effectively penis rock. Go look at it. I despise this. I think it's one of the worst things about it. It doesn't, and that's not going to age well. They could retcon it somehow in a future movie. I don't know. But the problem with Superman is the overcorrection from Zack Snyder. And the humor takes every earnest moment and deflates it. I never felt anything deeply in this. The things look, about less than half the humor lands. It's fine. I like Crypto. Cute dog. That's fine. But Superman never gets to be authoritative. He's almost like naive about his power. Now he came out as Superman at 27. He's now 30, according to the prologue, which was that whole 3 centuries ago, 30 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 months, like it just, okay, I get it. All right. You thought that was clever. Maybe on the page, but I really despise this aspect of Superman. It hasn't changed my review. I tweeted my thoughts, has not changed. So I give the movie credit for a lot of things, but this huge spoiler about the movie, this dramatic change, I do not like. I do not like at all. What it says, you can reject your parents. It's a weird thing that I mean, George Lucas turned that into a whole story for the OT in Star Wars. This is a horrible change. I have more to say, but Alan, I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I need to respond to.
Please do.
So, like I said, I'm a Marvel guy, not a DC guy. My knowledge of Superman is from the movies and from the first 6 issues of the John Byrne run. That's pretty much my knowledge, and I think that's generally America's knowledge of Superman in terms of lore. But being a Marvel guy and going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting with Iron Man, this idea of lore and how valuable lore is, they've changed lore constantly. And so from the MCU, I'm just used to lore changing. They're trying to, they're just trying to make a movie and do. Okay, so this whole thing about Jor-El, fine, I get it. I get why people are upset, but it didn't bother me. I'll tell you what really bothered me, though. Look, Superman, the issue, what I liked about Superman and about the whole Jor-El thing is the idea, and I'll bring in the whole immigrant stuff that James Gunn brought up, being an immigrant myself.
Yeah.
But it's the reality is that, the people we are and the values we hold have nothing to do with our ancestors and our history from hundreds of years ago. It is often and almost purely the way we were raised and the parents who raised us. And so this idea that Superman believed that that only hearing that first message, of being good and stuff like that, and then to have Ma and Pa Kent raise him as a good person with good Midwestern values, to me, that was the heart of at least the Superman arc, was realizing that he is not bound to the evil nature of his parents. What he was bound to were the values that his parents, Ma and Pa Kent, raised him on in Kansas. My issue with the movie is that James Gunn had a great opportunity to say that these were American values: truth, justice, and the American way. Because I will tell you, as an immigrant, these values are very much American versus my history, which is Chinese, which is Asian. These are not Asian values. These are American values. These are not Chinese values. These are decidedly American values. And to not have the guts to just come out and say that these are American values, that Superman lives by the motto of truth, justice, and American way. To me, that is much worse than changing the lore of Jor-El. And so, look,
I can nitpick that too, but to me, the idea that Superman is this good person and that his goodness comes from his parents is a great story. Is a story that parents should have, to realize that you are raising the next generation and you have direct control over the values you teach them. And the fact that Superman in this movie on several occasions chose the path of peace, the path of goodness, versus what they wanted to kill the kaiju. And Superman had a different idea of saving him and understanding him. That is the values that they're trying to portray in this one. And so, and then to your comment about it's too funny, or it's, to me, that was the contrast that I really liked about it. Look, this world is very weird. It's very goofy, but there are two people who are normal in this world, and that's Clark and Lois. And to me, that was the contrast that I really liked about it. That here's two people just trying to make sense of this weird world they live in, and that they've both chosen the path of goodness and of hope and of positivity. And so I think this speaks to the fact that we see this movie in very different ways, and that we come to it from very different ways. And so, and that is ultimately why I like this movie much better than you did, and why I hate the Zack Snyder version.
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on. Let me just say this.
Sure.
This movie is fun. The Zack Snyder version is not fun.
That I would agree, but I'll say I didn't hate the movie and I didn't love the movie. But there are things about it that I acknowledge were fun, and I agree with you on the fun. I'll also agree, and I think is a huge missed opportunity. The reason so many people come to America from outside America is because of our American values, and we used to export those through our cinema. But Hollywood hates America, and Gunn plays it very safe. There's that line that his brother utters, Sean Gunn, at the end, who says, well, the one thing conservatives and liberals can get behind is Lex Luthor sucks. That's what he says. And that's Gunn's comment. I don't think Gunn is an extreme liberal. I think he's sort of based to leaning left. Mostly people in Hollywood.
But he's not bound by, the Democratic Party or those are his values.
Look, most people lean left in Hollywood, to be fair, but not everybody's a psychopath like Mark Ruffalo or Mark Hamill, the two Marks. So look, in the end, it's a big change that I really don't like. Gunn handled this idea better, because where did Ray get her values she raised herself single in a desert as a junk merchant kid? I mean, we don't need to regurgitate I don't know how many times how much the sequel trilogy sucks, but it's a bad idea that was better handled by Gunn, and I still don't like it. Doesn't make it better just because he handled it better. So, and this is very much, I think the problem with this movie is Gunn got in his own way. I feel like this movie would have been better directed by someone else.
I'm curious, because this movie feels like it was much longer.
Yes.
And that they edited it down for time. And in doing that, there were crucial elements of this story that I feel like were cut out. And I think that's also why it feels like it's a roller coaster and doesn't let up. It's just they edited to what we got to a just over 2-hour movie.
Yeah. Well, look, I will I'll put up my tweet really quick that where I commented. I'll just give it to you really quick here. It's oh my god, it's so small it doesn't matter. Let's put that back. Let's put that back. On my profile at that Chris Gore. Great cast. David Corenswet is a fantastic Superman, authentic and unapologetically comic book inspired, like a live action cartoon. Unfortunately, James Gunn Superman feels like a recap video of season 1 of a Superman TV series on Max. This is Gen Z Superman for TikTok generation. The hyper fast pace is both a strength and a weakness. Everything about the Superman is the opposite of Zack Snyder's darker, more serious and epic vision. There is I talked about the terrible lore breaking. On the plus side, it's refreshing to see women allowed to be sexy in a modern Hollywood movie. Heels, skirts, cleavage. And I'll end. Kids and families will love it. Kids and families will love it.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's this movie will create a lot of conversations, and we'll have another one with other people. There are a lot of this is divisive, but divisive in a good way, because we're not talking about wokeness. We're not talking about, race or gender swaps. We're talking about things we liked and disliked about the movie. Now, on that level, I just want to end with this, that I love it. I don't care that Alan's opinion is different from mine, or that other people in the sphere don't love the movie, in fact, hate the movie. That's cool. I have tolerance for other people's opinions. What I find disconcerting is when I see, I can't believe, where people attack you or me for having the opinion we have. You can attack the opinion, but attack us personally. That is, I'll engage with you in a conversation about the film. I want to hear what you liked about it or what you disliked about it. That's a productive conversation. But it really, I really don't like when it goes to a place that is. I feel like these discussions are easier had when I can look you in the eye, as I am now, longingly, Alan. Let's go to comments from people.
Let's do it.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah, we have a lot of comments. I gotta make the screen bigger. Okay. C-Sign 69 member for 20 months. I think people are having a problem with Superman because Hollywood has salted the earth so much in the past few years that all they see is woke now.
Correct. 100%. And they come to expect it. So,
well, I mean, look, the Variety interview, how do you respond to MAGA hating your movie?
Yeah. I can't stand that guy now.
Aaron Charman for 10 pounds. The movie was a bit of a letdown for me. Seeing Superman struggle to win was refreshing, but in the end, he just didn't feel super enough. Mr. Terrific ended up being my favorite character.
Yeah, I agree with you, Aaron. He was great.
Mm-hmm. Aryan for 40. Too many jokes. Muddy storyline destroyed Superman. That's why I think it was overly edited. And the jokes weren't allowed to breathe.
Very choppy.
Yeah. Albert, not a retro for 10 Canadian. I just watched G&G's review of Superman, and he sounds like super sissy. I got no issues with a guy crying, depending on why and how much. Based on Steph's comment, it was a wussy palooza.
Yeah, but I mean, Reeves' Superman wept when Lois died.
Right, but it's context.
Right.
It's why they cried. And maybe it was not the right reasons to cry. Razorburn, member for 12 months. Not wanting to spoil away, but I need to know if Lex Luthor has an Otis in this movie. If so, does he compare to Ned Beatty? Also, Beardo Fat.
There is an Otis in the movie. We did a whole segment on it.
A whole Gore rant.
Yeah. The Otis... yeah, we did a Gore rant. I can't find it. I'll put up a different picture that I found here. We'll just keep going through comments.
Yeah, and it's not Wendell Pierce who plays Perry White. No, that's not Otis. Aryan for 40. Muddy storyline and too many jokes destroyed Superman. It's a very gun movie. Let's put it that way. Krog based for 50 Swedish krona. Morning. My mom's 18-year-old cat loved food, now won't eat, from fat to skinny. Now my friend told me his beautiful little tiger-looking cat was put down.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's not a good morning. Daniel Villarreal for 10. how could you change something that big with Superman's parents? In the sequel, his chest should be the American flag. His parents are the reason he was invested in Krypton and took pride in his home world. He had two
Yes.
sets of parents. I'm just saying, he has two sets of parents. One meant more than the other. Nothing wrong with that. Aryan for 100. Being a lifelong DC comic guy, this movie destroyed all hope I had. Anime and manga will now nuke out Disney/Marvel. Elon should take DC away from Warner Brothers.
That'd be nice. Oh, and Bill S. Preston Esquire has a good comment here.
Parts of this movie are dark. I think it's safe for kids, but be prepared.
Yeah, like Lex Luthor kills someone.
You know, in the whole Pocket universe. Josh for 499. It's crazy to say, but I think this may be the worst year for film releases.
Yeah.
Craig Wilson for 499. I don't know much about the DC comics, but Superman's mission in Earth in his movies sound like an Omni-Man from Invincible. Mike Litteris for 2. Hated it. I just don't share Gunn's sensibilities.
What's his name?
Michael Litteris.
Sure.
Doug for 5. I don't see how they build momentum for the Gunverse based on the upcoming movie. I think Clayface movie will be flipped to a Batman movie. The sense I got is the movies and TV shows don't need to be for everybody. You don't need to watch everything to know what's going on. Rhaegar Targaryen, same. I'm a Marvel guy, Alan. I don't know much about DC outside of television and movies. Yep. Aryan for 40. I sad, really sad. Screw you, Gunn. WB, I'm depressed. Aryan, you gotta pull it back there. We need you. Daniel Martin for 5. I feel this is Superman movie for people who don't really like soups. Superman is just a guy, not a god. We're all Superman. Look up to what exactly?
Yeah.
Oh, look up to what exactly? Okay. Nick XH for 499 pounds. Sounds similar to the Vitrumite Empire in Invincible. Yeah. Chris O for 10. You can tell I've not watched Invincible. Chris O for 10. Cast was great. My problems are story, pacing, hacky dialogue, which I place squarely on Gunn. Superman beat Luthor, but still screamed about hurt feelings. Recency bias now, but will not age well.
I agree. It will not age well.
AI Trailer Home for 10 pounds. Really dislike Superman 2025. I hated that Lex Luthor had 10 ways to hurt Superman at his disposal. Superman is hardly ever super. Constantly bashed. 4 out of 10 will stick to Chris Reeve ones. And ADLS, there's only one Martha. How do you know that name? Press M to start for 5. I just shake my head when I see people talking bad about Film Threat on a personal level. A lot of it feels like they're just incompetent and petty.
Well, I think that we have two audiences. There's the audience that watches us live, you in the chat, who it's a conversation. You hear the nuance, right? And we respond to your comments. Then the people that don't watch us live only watch clips and attack us there in the clips. And yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm being honest. My tweet really is the condensed version of my review for the film, that tweet. And even like Piers Morgan referenced my tweet on his show in that recent appearance. But yeah, I just like I read these comments and I don't want to respond because they're just they make basically when you read the negative comments, that's what Gunn's talking about in this movie, right?
Yeah,
that's what he's discussing.
The Legion of Monkey Trolls.
Yeah.
Chimera, sorry, for 2, 3 flops incoming. Supergirl, Clayface next. That was not a good introduction to Supergirl. Rudy for 2. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun and optimistic. Yes.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I love it. I love that people are. That's why I'm saying. But the majority of people do like the movie. 82% critics on Rotten Tomatoes. It's dropped. The audience score has dropped. You know what the latest is?
No, what?
95%.
Oh
It
no.
dropped from 96.
Oh no.
2,500 plus verified ratings.
Yeah, we should make a video about that. Zach to the future for 2. Movie was dope. Haters are snobs. Yes.
Should we do a video about that right now?
about the drop in the Rotten Tomato score? Yeah. I mean, to your point, it's like I disagree with Grace Randolph 80% of the time, but I hold nothing. I have harbor nothing personal against her. It's her opinion. I don't know why we have to hate people we disagree with.
Hang on, Alan. I'm doing what you wanted. We're gonna do it.
Right
now.
No, I was being facetious. We're not.
This will be good for a short. Ready, Lori? Ready, Lori? The Superman Rotten Tomatoes score has dropped. That's right. It opened with I believe 86% critic score, 96% audience score. Well, now it's dropped. Hold on to your hats, folks. Now the score is 83% critics on Rotten Tomatoes and 95%. A full 1 percentage point drop in the audience score with 2,500 verified reviews here on Rotten Tomatoes. It seems audiences are loving it, but still, the score has dropped. Make that a clip. That'll be so dumb. We're gonna bait people with that one, but you got to see it live.
Yeah, I know.
It's fun. Hey, we'll probably still talk Superman stuff, but there are 3 movies I saw. Maybe Lori, you can prep those. We'll start with Oh Hi, and then
Oh Hi.
Yeah. Alan, Superman is not the only movie in theaters this weekend. There are new movies and new indie movies. I've seen 3, and I'm going to tell you about them right now. Let's start with Oh Hi, which was a film that's opening later this month that screen at the Unseen Screen at AMC. This movie is about a young woman and her boyfriend, Iris, played by Molly Gordon, and Isaac, played by Logan Lerman, and they're off to an Airbnb to an idyllic little weekend vacation in the countryside. They buy a bunch of strawberries. They're eating strawberries. There's some comedic moments there with how they obtain the strawberries. They're at this Airbnb and they're having a good old time. Yes, there is sex involved. And going through the closet of this Airbnb, they find some fetish material. That's right. They find handcuffs, leather outfits, and they decide to have some adventurous sex. Iris is tied to the bed, and it just doesn't feel right. She says, "Let me tie you to the bed." Well, she ties her boyfriend Isaac to the bed. They have a good old time, and just as she's unlocking him from the bed, they have a disagreement about the status of their relationship. He feels they've been going out for 3-4 months. They're committed. They are lovers. They are boyfriend and girlfriend. And he's like, "No, I'm seeing other people." Upon learning this, she leaves him locked to the bed. And then she does the worst thing ever. She goes on the internet to get advice about relationships and determines that if she can keep him locked up for a day or 2, she can make him fall in love with her and become a committed man. This leads to more hijinks when she tries to get advice from her bestie girlfriend, Max, played by Geraldine Viswanathan. and her boyfriend, they show up. David Cross is the sort of curmudgeonly neighbor. I'm not going to tell you where the story goes from there. This is a really fun romantic comedy that I'm going to recommend. A tight 90 minutes. You're in, you're out. It's very authentic, very real, and I enjoyed it. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. Really love Molly Gordon as the lead. Logan Lerman, he's fantastic. There's lots of embarrassing little hijinks with when he has to go to the bathroom, how that's handled. And also we're sadly lacking in romantic comedies. So I'm recommending it. I'm not going to give a number rating, but I'll just say strong recommend if you want a good romantic comedy there is some sex. And I will say this, Alan, there is a little nudity on the female side. So there you go.
Oh, hi.
One for you.
Yeah, I think you talked me into this one.
No, worth
this
seeing.
screening
Worth seeing.
tonight.
And it opens on July 25th, the same day as the Fantastic Four. So check it out in theaters. Let's talk Dracula.
I'll be in San Diego then. All right.
I will as well. Put up our next poster. Abraham Boyes, A Dracula Story. This is kind of a in a way a sort of spiritual sequel to Dracula. It deals with the sons of Van Helsing. Van Helsing has gotten as far away from London as it could possibly go to the Old West. Well, it feels like the Old West, even though the movie is set in 1913. Van Helsing is a God-fearing man. He's a father to be feared. And his young sons live in fear of their father. There's the younger son, played by Judah Mackey, and Brady Hepner plays the older son. And they're there with their mother, and Van Helsing is in fear that vampires will come and kill them. And his job as father is to protect his family. And he drills this into his kids. I mean, I would go so far as to say he's an abusive dad. The movie is from a Joe Hill short story, who also did The Black Phone, the story that The Black Phone is based on. It's directed by Natasha Kermani, and she shot it. It really feels feels like the Old West, but it's early 1900s. So they have electricity and cars, but Van Helsing has moved his family remotely to get as far away from people / vampires. Come to find out, he's so in fear of vampires. He's so paranoid over the top. Is it possible he's killing people that are not vampires? Maybe. And the story devolves into a battle between Van Helsing and his sons. The film is shot. I love the way this movie is shot. It's shot like an old Western in 4:3 aspect ratio, which I really love. And they shot in California, and the performances are really good, especially the two young boys. And I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the film. Solid, not too over the top on the gore, heavy on the drama. It's very much a melodrama. And this movie is in theaters this weekend, but also coming at some point to Shudder. So I give it a recommendation to check it out. If you like the original Dracula, you want to see sort of a Joe Hill's and the director's vision of where Van Helsing may have gone after the events of Dracula, this is a solid movie. So I'm giving
I actually interviewed the director
really?
maybe 6 years ago.
Oh wow!
But very solid sci-fi director and writer, and has indie chops. I
Yeah,
don't think.
indie chops. Like the movie was, looks bigger than it is for the budget.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's great to see an indie filmmaker just leveling up film after film.
and also it's good to see like what you can do with like it's a very simple story. What happened to Van Helsing? And he got the hell out of Dodge to get away from vampires, but lived a paranoid life. Let's talk about our next movie, last movie of the day. Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight. Wait a sec. Let me start that over. Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight is I don't know, it's an unfortunate title. It is based on a book, and the title is a memoir inspired by the life of Alexandra Fuller, and it's during the end of the Rhodesian Bush War. This is the apartheid that was in that was taking place at the time, and it focuses on the young girl. A young girl is kind of caught up in it. Her family has a farm, and she tragically lost a younger sister. And this girl she's like 10, 11 years old. She rides a motorcycle. She shoots guns, and she's kind of caught up in what is a coming war, a race war in this country as it's being torn apart. It features an amazing performance by the young actress, who I guess is 8 years old. Lexi Venter is the actress. It's directed and also features Embeth Davids is the director. She plays Nicola Fuller. She directed it and plays the mother. Amazing performances. It captures. This is something that Trump talked about. The white farmers that are being. So this could be considered a
political movie.
A political, yeah, but it really focuses on. It doesn't get political. It focuses on this world through the eyes of an 8-year-old girl. She's a young girl who just like, they have a black family that helps them. They're servants at the house. And the main theme of it, the girl that the young girl like looks up to is Sarah, played by Zakona Bali. And she says, well, we're able to see things that maybe white people don't notice. And that's sort of the extent of this sort of Africa land war, is like, look, you're a child, but maybe we can see things you cannot. But it's not heavy-handed. It focuses on like, how do kids see horrible events play out for them? You can tell maybe where the movie's going, but this young girl that we see the world through her eyes. It's always through her eyes. Her parents walk around with guns loaded next to their bed, living in fear. Their farm, they will be attacked, and their farm will be taken from them. And it doesn't hold back on that aspect. I won't go into it. Strong recommend for this one. Amazing performances. Embeth Davids, the way her approach to directing this is almost feels documentary like in a lot of aspects. It's currently 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, so no people are responding to it, but I can see this movie getting a bad rap. I can see this movie getting, because of the politics are there, but it's through the mind of a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say I give it a strong recommend if you're looking for something to see that's not called, Superman. So there you go.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight.
I'm not sure if they explain exactly. I went to the bathroom once, to be fair, during this screening of this movie, But
Well, I mean, if you read it literally, it's "Do not let us go to the dogs tonight," which might make more sense.
But it's really a memoir. The memoir actually takes place over a longer period of time. The actual book. This focuses on the lead when she was a young girl and how she saw political events unfold before her eyes. I think children tend to be naive about things, and her parents were very, I mean, this movie does go for so I recommend it if you're looking for something to see this weekend, Alan. It's not Superman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, To Kill a Mockingbird is like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this it's really this girl. She's so real. And that's gonna wrap it up for us today.
Yeah, we're light on movies for the next few weeks.
No, I've seen a bunch. Oh, we have a lot of super chats. Hey, let's get to them.
Let's do this. Justin Boyer for 20. Superman actually cares about people and protects life. Lex is unapologetically evil and is a true threat, even though he's human. Cringe in some places, but it's a good Superman movie. Put down the pitchforks. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
It's like, you don't need. Yes, I agree with this statement. This isn't the worst thing ever. My impression is very mixed, but I acknowledge this will appeal more to normies. While we're doing super chats, I'm going to put up. We're doing a fan meetup at San Diego Comic-Con at Urban Coal Fired Pizza, which is at 3085 University Avenue in San Diego. Yeah. That's Saturday, July 26th at 8 p.m. Alan Ing will be there with Gabe Al-Taib, Gary Beekler from Neurotic, and maybe I'll show up.
You look like Bobby Moynihan in that photo.
Do I look like Bobby Moynihan? I didn't plan to.
Josh for $4.99. I watched okay, there we go. I need more cleavage next time, guys. Josh for $4.99. I watched Superman 4 yesterday for the first time. It was terrible and hilarious. I had a great time. Muriel Hemingway. I forget how gorgeous she is. There we go.
It is sort of, it's like one of those, it's a bad movie. I mean, I remember seeing it thinking this is stupid.
Yeah. It's just got progressively worse.
And that's the kind of debate we like to have. Thank you, Josh.
I mean, of the
wow. 5,000.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Diego
Salazar for 5,000.
How much is that? Atomic Glory. How much is that really?
I know. I feel bad for even looking it up.
Yeah.
But the movie feels like a catalog of what Guns has in mind for the DCU 3 years after he took control of it. When the Snyder Cut came out, I said it was a 6, but it felt like an 8 compared to the previous versions. As a sole Superman movie, this sucks. Gunn treated this as a comic issue from a run we don't even know will continue. We'll see. I mean, definitely the movie sets the foundation for Gunn's universe. And that we know the tone of what the movies are going to be in the future. Whether it was appropriate for Superman is the question.
By the way, that 5,000 is actually like $3.98. Thank you, Lori.
Oh, it's still greatly appreciated.
Yes. Yeah.
5,000 of anything is a lot.
5,000 pennies
is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, me too. My ninja 679 for $1. Thank you for that. No there. Bulbasaur Brutal for 20. See, 20 is not quite 5,000. We're just saying. Google Superman 2025 box office mojo now. Funny. Do I do it?
I'm gonna do it right now.
Google. Okay.
Since
Google.
you're asking.
Superman 2025 box office mojo.
It says really, there's no info yet. It says $7.
Yeah, oh, it's made $7 so far. Wow,
Yes,
that is a fail for a movie that is over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dropping, albeit.
Well, we know it's not true.
To have only learned $7. Let's see. Okay, yeah. A.D. Ellis. So it's a pro-South African farmer.
No, it's balanced, but it shows the evils on both sides.
Mhm.
It really does both sides of the issue, but
It should,
from the POV of the child.
It asks questions. The
It
best
asks-
way is to ask questions and allows you to come up to your own conclusion.
You come to your own conclusion. It is definitely not that. You see horrible people do horrible things.
Mhm. Shannon Wallen. Don't let's go to the movie tonight.
Hey, go to the movies.
Don't not go to the movies tonight. Craig Wilson for 199. Auto-corrected makes super chatting difficult.
Yeah, I would agree. And let's talk about this. We're doing a film threat panel on Thursday, July 24th, 7 p.m. at the Grand 6 at the Marriott Marquis San Diego Marina. Myself, April Wright, Jeff Miller from Popeye the Slayer Man, our friend Jim Agnew, Tracy Lehman, who did Pop Trevino Likes It, and our friend Tim Chismar. Super chat.
Will he be clothed during the panel?
He is required to be.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry,
please
just
come to our panel.
and
Super
then
chat
Aryan,
missed from Aryan, or did we miss it? I'm
did we miss
sorry.
one? If you could find that,
Find it, we'll get it.
or write it in the comments, and Lori will pick it up, and we'll read it. Thomas Pickett for 5. Chris mentioned this before. Do a Google search on Superman 4 alternate nuclear man, and you'll see the movie that could have been worse.
It could have been way worse.
Could have been way worse. Yeah. Let's see. Do we? Okay. The Napsky for 199. Gunn's next DC movie should be Plastic Man. Yeah, I think he would make a great Plastic Man movie.
He would make a great he's good at the obscure characters.
Yeah.
He's really, I think he excels at the weird characters. Like,
Yeah, I mean, for him to have turned Guardians of the Galaxy into what it is, it says a lot about his talent. That movie never should have worked.
Well, we are going to be back on Monday with Versus, and it is a all hands on deck conversation with Gabe Altaib, Paul Chato, our regulars. It's going to be insane. So we will get into it on Monday. Join us 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I want to thank our mod, Lord Thoth, MK Solid. Also thank Atomic Lori, Glenn Nuccio. You make us look good, and we appreciate that. Alan, what do you doing this weekend?
I have no idea. I think I'm probably will see Superman again this weekend.
You know what I'm not doing?
See,
blowing a dog. I'm not doing that.
I mean, don't make all your plans yet.
Okay, we'll be back. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in a super chat. Thanks for hanging out with us for a couple hours. It's always fun. I know we don't talk about all the things that, we talk about other kinds of things, and I appreciate that you are willing to listen, kind of outside the bubble of, stuff. You get to learn about other movies that are out there, and we appreciate that you are interested. We barely lost viewers as we were discussing those indie movies at the end. Those will make good clips. So cool. So you're seeing Superman again?
Yeah. I think the wife wants to see it.
Oh, great. Well, I want to hear what Yeah.
Mr. Terrific. Oh yeah, Rio for 499. Mr. Terrific sounded like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he did.
I think it was an homage. I think he was inspired by that character.
I love that. All right, Alan, what do you have to say?
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.